Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for this Energising Morning Yoga Flow. So this practice is designed to help wake you up, get us moving, stretching, strengthening and ready for our day. However, if you are doing this at another time of day, then that's absolutely great too. This is an all levels practice, so there'll be different options throughout. So as always, just taking what you need from the class and leaving anything that you don't need. So we're going to come down and start the practice in a lying position. We're going to lie on our front, so a little bit different to start today. So come down into a lying position on your front, and you can just bring your elbows out to the side. I want you to rest your head on your hands and either just close the eyes or take a steady gaze. And as you breathe, start to see if you can feel your belly expanding. And maybe pressing into your mat. And then as you exhale, feeling the belly draw back in. And scanning into your body, notice how your body's feeling. Noticing any little niggles, anything to observe that's alive for you. We're going to set an intention for this practice. So this can be something personal to you, or I offer you the intention today of I am enough. So inhaling, I am, exhaling, enough. And then I want you to start to gently just shift your hips from side to side. So staying in your lying position, just taking a gentle shift of the hips. Nice way to release stress or tension from the body. Then opening the eyes if you had them closed. We're going to start to bring the hands, so the hands are coming out to the sides and come onto your fingertips. So arms are bent, elbows out to the side, hands out to the side, and we'll float some cobras. So as you inhale, undulate, lifting the head up last. As you exhale, floating the chest, head comes down last. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, floating back down, moving into the spine, the upper back, the neck. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, floating back down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, floating back down. And then bring the hands in so that they're coming closer into the body. And press the hands into the mat, lift the hips up, we'll come into tabletop position. It's flowing into a little bit of cat and cow. Inhale, lift the gaze, shine the heart forwards, lift that tailbone. And exhale, rounding, dropping the head, drawing the belly in. Inhale, lifting, opening across the heart space. And exhale, dropping the head, rounding your spine. Inhale, lifting the gaze. Exhale, rounding, just starting to iron out, stretch out any of those little areas that need it today. Sometimes we wake up and we can feel quite stiff in the body. So getting that energy moving, getting the body moving. Coming back to a neutral position now. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips to the sky, exhale, downward facing dog. Start to pedal out through the feet, so bending one leg, then the other. Feeling into your downward facing dog. Connecting with your breath. And then inhale, lift your heels away from the mat, so coming up on the toes. Drop the heels over to the right. Exhale, bend through the legs. Find that deep stretch down the left side of the body. Inhale, float the heels back to center. Over to the left side and bend through the legs. Exhale, stretching into the right side body. Keep pressing the mat away with your hands. And lift the legs back to center. Exhale, draw the heels down towards the mat. Doesn't mean that they need to be there. It's just a gesture of where they're heading. From here, we'll inhale, sweep the right leg up. Find a 3-leg dog. Doesn't matter how far up that leg comes. Come to a place that feels good for you. And then sweep the right foot through between the hands. Drop your back knee down, so we're in a low lunge. Front knee stacked above the ankle. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. And exhale, float forward. So almost like a humble warrior version, floating with the arms. So inhale, we reach up. Exhale, we float forwards. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, floating forwards. Really press down through the right heel, activating the thigh and the glutes. Last one. Exhale, floating forwards. Inhale, reaching up. Or you can bring the hands down to blocks or the mat here. Shift the weight into the back leg. Find your half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. So flexing through the right foot, lengthening into the right leg, doesn't have to be straight. Breathing here. So starting to really get that opening in the body. And then either grabbing your block and bringing it to the right side of you, or your hand could be coming to the ground. We're going to inhale, sweep the left arm up and over, find a little stretch here. So again, opening down through into the rib cage, the left side of the body. Keep breathing. And float the left hand back down. Remove your block, walk the hands forwards. So bring the weight back into your front leg, tuck the back toes under. Power up through your back leg, reach your fingertips up to the ceiling, finding a high lunge. Breathing here. Same movement now in our high lunge with our humble warrior. So inhale, lifting up and out from the waist. To exhale, float forwards over that front leg. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, floating forwards. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, floating forwards. This time, inhale, lifting up, staying here, floating the hands through to heart center, our Anjali Mudra, and then powering into your right leg. Step the left foot in, maybe seeing if you can keep it hovered off the mat, no worries if you can't, and then hook your left ankle onto your right thigh. So be mindful of the knee joint. We're opening the left knee out to the side. There's a bend in your right leg, and then you're going to sit. So imagining a little bit like when we come into Utkatasana, chair pose, so sitting the hips, imagine they're sitting back onto a chair behind you, and you're getting this lovely deep stretch into the left hip space. Keep your space across your chest. So we're almost in this kind of pigeon Utkatasana type position here. Breathing. One more breath here and start to release. See if you can float that left leg back. Take a big step back. Frame the front foot, step it back to plank and flow through your version of Chaturanga. So inhale into your upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale back to your downward facing dog. Remembering to take a child's pose. Take what you need from the class this morning or whenever you're doing this. Breathing, being aware of your body, your breath. Inhale, sweep the left leg up, find three-leg dog. Open into the hips if that feels good for you. The leg could just be hovering away from the mat. So really trying to let go of sometimes what our ego tells us that we need to be doing. We need to be taking every option. We need to be maybe rushing into our day. And really trying to connect to the part of us that lies behind all of that. Sweep the left leg through between the hands. Drop the back knee down. Take your low lunge. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Take a moment to check in that our knees stacked above the ankle. If it's not, just walking that foot out. Inhale here. Exhale. Floating forwards. Can you sweep the hands back? Inhale, reach the fingertips back up. Exhale, float forwards. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, float forwards. And last one, inhale, reach back up. Float the hands down to the mat to support you if you need to, or if you want some extra challenge, you can shift back with no hands. So bringing that weight into the right leg, lengthening through your left leg, finding your Ardha Hanumanasana, your half split position. So breathing here. Don't worry if the left leg has a little bend still in it, that's okay. And then either taking your hand to the left side of the body, or you could take the hand to a block to give you more space, which is a really good option to take here because it's quite a deep stretch. Inhale, reach your right arm up and over. Find a stretch over to the left side. Breathing here. And release the right arm back down. Walk the hands forwards to frame that front foot. Tuck under your back toes. Lift the back leg. Inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky. Find your high lunge. Inhale, lifting up and out from the waist. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, reaching up with the fingertips, lifting the ribs away from the hips. Exhale, folding forwards. And inhale, sweeping the fingertips up, lift up and out from your waist. Then bringing the weight into this left leg, bringing the hands through to heart center. We're going to step in this right leg. No worries if you need to pop it down to the mat. And then the right ankle's hooking on your left thigh. Be really mindful of the knee joint. The left leg's bending and the right knee's opening out to the side. So it's like a pigeon version of our Utkatasana. Breathing here, keep the space across the chest. See if you can sink the hips down a little bit lower. Stay with your breath, finding a drishti if you need to. That's your focus point. So getting those hips nice and stretched and moving this morning. Well done, and release. See if you can flow that right leg back. Take a big step back to high lunge. Pop the hands down to the mat. Step it back to plank. Flow through your version of chaturanga. Inhaling upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale back to your downward facing dog. And take a moment to reconnect with your breath. Press the mat away with your hands. And then drop your knees down to your mat, so you're in tabletop position. We're going to walk the hands in and come up to a high kneeling position. Bring your hands to the sacrum, to the lower back area, and squeeze the elbows in towards each other. Press the hips forwards. Imagine tucking your tailbone in. Coming into your camel pose. So inhale, reach the crown of your head to the ceiling. As you exhale, start to send your gaze up to the ceiling. Press the hips forward, squeeze the elbows in together, find that heart opening. So it might be that you're working here for your camel, taking your breaths here. Maybe the hands start to come back to the heels. But only taking this option if it feels right for you, and really working with pressing the hips forwards, engaging the glutes and the legs, supporting your spine and your lower back. Drop the head back if it feels good for you. Won't feel good for everyone. And starting to come away, inhale, bring the hands back to your lower back, lifting gently away. And then you can sit your hips down towards the heels. And just take a couple of gentle twists from side to side. And then bring your hands down to the thighs, palms facing down. Close the eyes or take the gaze out in front. And we'll take a releasing breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Let it all go. Notice your connection between your hands and your body. Notice any sensations you can feel. The hands or the fingers. Maybe into the back. And come back to your intention that you set for the practice. So if that was something personal to you, just coming back to that intention now. And what you want to bring into your day. And if you held the intention with me, I'm going to inhale, I am. Exhale, enough. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, enough. Opening the eyes back up when you're ready. Just taking a steady gaze. Coming back into the physical body. I hope that you enjoyed that practice and enjoyed waking up with me this morning or whenever you were doing it. And if you did enjoy this practice, I will link below my Mindful Morning series that I did recently. It's just a series of morning practices where we look at the yamas and niyamas. So there's some lovely yoga philosophy worked in, and it's a really lovely practices to wake up for your day. So if you enjoyed this, then I definitely recommend checking those out. And just really grateful for you coming and joining me in this flow. Let me know how you've got on, what your feedback is, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.